What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Stellar Lumens today, XLM. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it, okay? Here we are on this, the 31st of May, sitting at about 26.7 cents with the higher low on the price here. We have broken out, right? We've broken out of our bull flag here. Lower highs all the way through. We're just consolidating now after the breakout. I was actually just talking about this in one of my videos, how a lot of coins have broken out of their downtrend, right? But not all of them have seen that follow-through move, right? The follow-through move, as much fun as this was, the next move that's going to come, it's going to be faster. It's going to be more eruptive. So I do believe we're going to move up here pretty soon. And what you have to look forward to is something that's a little bit more, let's say, voluptuous. I don't know. A little bit more robust than this last move. That's a good word for it. Yeah, 26.7 cents here at 1 day, 8 hours left in the week. If we're looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, looking at this here, the 1 hour RSI actually does look pretty bullish. You do have higher highs in the RSI while having lower highs here, and that is hidden bearish divergence. So don't be surprised if you do find a little turbulence here. Let me look at this on a 4 hour time frame real quick. Hold on. Let's just see. Relative high to relative low. I mean, man, maybe you just keep going. I don't know. You're just so far down the ladder here. It would make sense that you do keep going. I mean, maybe it looks like hidden bearish divergence, but maybe it's not. Maybe just keep growing. I don't know. You're right at this area that you found resistance before, but it looks like you tried to find resistance and now you're back up. If you can persist higher, I think that you could really turn this into a bullish kind of circumstance right now. I'm just so confused because you're so far down from this high here. And I don't want to take that high. I feel like this high to low would be more appropriate. If you're finding a low here, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's take this low to high here. Let's go from this low to this high. There you go, right at your 0.5. There we go. Yeah. Okay, cool. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but a lot of cryptos do like to find support at their 0.5 or resistance at their 0.5, depending on the directional heading. I think you found your low, man. I think Stellar is one of the few coins that actually did find it. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all the coins have found their low recently, and we're not going lower in the markets. But I do think Stellar has found its low. If I'm wrong and it goes lower, just understand we could go down to 24.3 cents, 23.4 cents, something like that. We're at 26.7 cents now, so we're not talking about anything that's like terrible. But you could go below this low, find your low there. It's a higher low overall from this low, and you build. You know what I mean? And it's okay if that happens. Daily RSI has lower lows, and you have higher lows in your price. That is hidden bullish divergence, tends to mark continuation in an uptrend, which you're in an uptrend right now. You broke out of your downtrend. That's what this move was. I want to get back to the 4 hour time frame here. The 4 hour is looking pretty bearish, honestly, but you would expect at least some kind of move up to the 50, maybe get these lower highs in line, something like that. So a little bit of continuation going into the end of the day. I expect today to continue to close green, right? You're up 8.8% right now. You'll probably continue to move up. I would think if you're moving lower, if today was not the low, they're at 25.9 cents. You're likely going to find resistance then either somewhere at these wicking lows or somewhere at these closing lows. So your next area that you're going to before you go lower, if you go lower, and I don't think that you do, would be 27.7 to 28.7 cents. Find some resistance there, work your way down if that happens. You still probably do find turbulence here, and then like consolidate a little bit, but you'll probably build instead of rejecting down. That's my expectation. So right now, Stellar, I would expect over the coming days that you probably do move up to about 27.7 to 28.7 cents. You're at 26.7 right now, so a couple of cents higher. Nothing too crazy, right? But it makes a lot of sense based off the daily RSI and even the 1 hour RSI. I would think that you do continue to grow. So looking at this on a weekly time frame, zooming out a little bit now, we definitely have broken out of this massive, absolutely massive bull flag, right? From a low to a high, you've got your flagpole, you got your flag right here. You've broken out of it. You're looking for that follow-through move, which is going to come any day now, any week now. I would expect within the next 2 weeks you do get a rather robust move. From a low to a high, we measured that. You put it at the low here. The measure move takes you all the way up to about $1.40. $1.40. I want to take XLM versus BTC real quick and just see what that comes up with, or what we can come up with that. XLM to BTC, also in a massive bull flag. It's a little bit more obvious on the monthly time frame. Low to high here. Put that at the base. That might take you all the way up here. That makes sense, right? Stellar, if you were to move up versus Bitcoin, you probably go up and find resistance at your last area of resistance. So that makes sense. Let's take the measure move and calculate that real quick, what that would be. That's 4 zeros, 1, 2, 8, 7. 4 zeros, 1287 times whatever the price of Bitcoin will be. I don't know where Bitcoin's price is going to be, but I can tell you one thing. It's going to be above 104.7K. Let's just do that real quick, just for fun. 104.7K. Oh no, I don't want to do it like that. Let's do this. There we go. Oops, there we go. That gives you $1.34. So Stellar, your measured move on the US dollar, right. If we take this bull flag here, low to high, measure it, that measure move takes you right there to about $1.40. That's your measure move, to $1.40. $1.34 is pretty damn close to $1.40, and that would make sense, if Stellar Lumens broke out versus Bitcoin and saw this. But the thing is if Stellar XLM breaks out versus Bitcoin and makes this move, Bitcoin's not going to be at 104K, guys. It's not staying here. It's going to move up, right? It's going to move up. Stellar's just going to move up at a faster pace. So what will Bitcoin's price be by the end of this rally for Stellar Lumens, by the time that we're all the way done with this move and we see our next topping point to kind of consolidate for a month and a half or so? That's a good question. I'm thinking by the end of June, if not sometime in July, Bitcoin will be worth $160,000 to $190,000. Let's say I'm wrong, and Bitcoin's not even worth 160. Let's say it's worth 140 by the time Stellar Lumens tops off versus it. Okay, if Stellar is worth that much versus Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin's worth 140 by the end of June, sometime in July, Stellar should be worth $1.80. And this is still being conservative because, I think this is an appropriate target. This is a very appropriate target for XLM versus BTC. But for XLM USD, this is not an appropriate target. And for Bitcoin, BTC USD, I don't even think 140 is an appropriate target, but $1.80. Now we're getting somewhere. I think that we're going to be closer to $2 by the time this thing tops off, probably above $2 by the time this thing tops off in July is what I'm expecting. Let's say Bitcoin is at $180,000, but let's say Stellar Lumens tops off before or after, so Bitcoin might be at 170K, 160K. Let's do 165, just put that right in the middle there. Something like that, right? We're just guessing, checking, and that puts you above $2. So as long as Stellar and Bitcoin move up at the same time, and they will, and Bitcoin's up above 160K, Stellar will likely be above $2. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Why does that make a lot of sense to me? Because, well, first off, we just did the math comparing it to Bitcoin. We derived that mathematically, and that just makes a lot of sense through TA and through just doing a little bit of math. I guess it's more TA than math. We just apply the math to validate the TA. But anyways, you've been in a multi-cycle consolidation phase. When you break out, you're probably going to see a very robust move. Very robust. How robust do I mean? I mean more robust than this. This was a bull flag. This was a very bullish endeavor. You're in a bull flag now, but the measure move only takes you to $1.40. I say screw that, man. You're probably not going to stop there. You probably do continue higher, and you'll probably see prices that are, if you're breaking out to new all-time highs. Here, let me just ask you a question. You've got a coin, a crypto, that's been in a multi-cycle consolidation phase. Multi-cycle, multi-bear cycle, and bull cycle consolidation phase. When it moves up, is it going to move up right here? When you break out of your multi-cycle consolidation phase, you see new all-time highs for the first time in 1, 2, 3 bull cycles. Are you going to stop right above it? Are you going to do that? Probably not. No. High to low. Are you going to stop below your minimum target here at 246? Probably not. We can make sense out of 246 if we just take that same price. We take that same price, and instead of multiplying by 160, maybe they top off at the same time. Maybe Bitcoin's at 180K, where I think it's going to go 231. That's pretty damn close to this price here. And maybe I'm wrong on the XLM BTC pair. Maybe it doesn't top off here. Maybe it goes a little bit higher. Maybe we go directly to where that wicking high is. And that these alterations can definitely tweak the price to that 246 area. Maybe we're at 246, maybe we're not. From this high to low, there's other reasons to find resistance at like $1.54, maybe $2.20, just above the 1-4-1-4. Oftentimes with the 1-4-1-4, you find resistance just above it. What's just above this 1-4-1-4? 246. So I'm just saying something above $2 but below 250 is what I would expect to happen. It makes a lot more sense than seeing a multi-cycle consolidation phase being one of the leading tokens in the cycle, and then once you break out of your all-time highs, you just stop right there at a place that makes no sense at all. Oh, what? Because of the measure move? No, I think that's setting you up for failure if you're going off the measure move. I'm sure you'll find resistance here. I'm sure you will, but you'll probably push through that. So 26.7 cents now. Hell of a monthly look, by the way. That is a terrible looking month. But you're really this month, if you're just focusing on this month, it looks terrible. But if you look at the last 3 months, what you've got is indecision down here, right? And indecision at a low oftentimes marks a low. If you have indecision at your low points, that marks a low. If you have indecision at your high points, that oftentimes marks a high. You know what I mean? And we had some indecision back here, marked a high. You know, it happens. These are indecision candles right here, definitely. Anyways, $2.46, $2 itself, somewhere in that range. That's where I think you're going to go sometime in July, between now and sometime in July. Yeah, you're at 26.7 cents now. I'm expecting that over the coming days, you move up a cent or two, and then you just have a lot more growth to go over the next over the coming weeks, over the next 6 weeks or so. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.